Boyds on BBC Southern Counties Radio.
Now, I've had an email from somebody called Mary in Winchester who says this, and I really want to take issue with this. She says, why do you have to be so bloody patronising to people who are older than you on the radio? And I'm not. You're patronising to people who are older if you simply go, oh, yes, oh, lovely, right? If a person is coming out with some nonsense, no matter what age they are, and you engage them in equal debate, you're being the opposite of patronising. And that's the position I take. And I don't patronise anybody. I treat everybody as though they deserve one's full handshake, or tap on the chin, or whatever. But patronising, Mary, is the very opposite of what you think it is. She goes on, you should respect your elders. This is an email that's come in. Tommy.Boyd@bbc.co.uk. You should respect your elders and not try to be clever. You could learn more from listening to the older generation rather than being confrontational. My father always told me that wisdom comes with age. Mary, email me a bit of wisdom, Mary. Email me a bit of wisdom, one bit of wisdom. All right, there's your challenge, Mary Croft in Winchester. I presume that you have age. Have you wisdom? Email me. I bet what we'll get is, I asked a person who was telling me this once before, I may have told you this. I said, go on, then give me a bit of wisdom, and they said, don't buy a VHS, the films come round on terrestrial eventually. And that's supposed to be wisdom.
That's wisdom.
Yeah.
And you can email us, and Mary, I'm waiting for your email. You're the one who says that wisdom comes with age, then email me some wisdom, mate. Tommy.Boyd@bbc.co.uk. Got an email from a lady called Mary, who had a pop at me earlier for being patronising towards older callers, which I'm not. I treat older callers as being my equals, which means that if they're talking rubbish, I say so. Or should I say that if I think they're talking rubbish, I say so. And that's the opposite of being patronising, isn't it? So Mary then said that older people have more wisdom than the likes of whippersnappers, like myself. So I challenged her to send me some wisdom. So let's see what she's emailed in, shall we? Here we go. There you go, assuming that the older generation do not have wisdom, when we have lived much longer. You talk big, but do you know what wisdom is? I have learnt how to bring up children, teach children manners, and brought up 2 children who are respectful to people older than them. Is that wisdom enough for you? Absolutely not. That isn't wisdom at all. That's nothing. There is absolutely nothing there. I'll give you some examples of wisdom if you want, Mary, but no, she sent this email in 3 times, I think. Yes, she had. There's no wisdom there, Mary. That's just like a credential which any of the 2,000 million people on planet Earth can claim that they've had children. And you say you've taught them manners. Well, there's no wisdom involved in that. It's a safety mechanism for most children. And done very badly by most parents, may I say, who actually say to their 2-year-olds, what do you say? What do you say? And eventually they learn to make this word that goes, peas. They have no idea what that's all about. None whatsoever. And then when they get it, what do you say? And they have to go, anku. And they have no idea what it's all about. But it makes the parents comfortable that when they're out with their children, people will think that their children have been well brought up. So actually, an awful lot of parents are teaching those kinds of manners to their children just so that they feel that they won't be embarrassed when they're out in company. So, Mary, no. No, that is not wisdom at all. When you say, is that wisdom enough for you, that is not wisdom at all. I'll give you an example of a piece of wisdom. Here's a piece of wisdom. A man locked in a room with many doors must find the door which takes the key that he already has in his hand. For what is important is not what is written on those doors, but what lies beyond. Now you come close to something like that, Mary, in Winchester. I dare you to try. We had a chat with a couple of callers, and Mary in Winchester took me to task for being patronising towards what she described as older listeners, and my point, Alison, I think it's a reasonable point, is that I don't patronise anybody. I treat everybody exactly the same.
Yeah.
I don't treat people specially because they're younger or older or anything. And I challenged her to come up with some wisdom, because she said that she was wise and that she was old and therefore she was wise. And I'm afraid it's you're wise, therefore you're wise, not I'm old and therefore I'm wise, necessarily. And I don't think she could do it. However, she has emailed back with a piece of wisdom, and it's quite good, isn't it? Because you can see, Alison, you and I have been playing Spot the Mistake.
Yes.
Here's Mary's email. This will be my final message to Tommy Boyd. I am sat here stunned that you mock the teaching of manners to children. Your example, while wise, did not contain the essence of real wisdom. As with my example. Wisdom is always to do with experience. How about, give a man a fish and he can feed a family for a day, but give a man a boat and he can fish for a lifetime. Not quite like that, Mary. You don't get it. That
No.
one. You're close.
Very close.
You're fairly close. But are you also saying, Mary, that this is something that you've experienced? If you go back and reread your email, Mary, you seem to be saying that something isn't wisdom unless you yourself have experienced. So, tell us a bit about this man and the boat you gave him. Was it a big boat? Or a little coracly thing? And just because you've got a boat doesn't mean you can fish.
No. Just because you've got a boat doesn't mean you know how to even use the boat.
No.
Be no point in someone giving me a boat.
No, me neither.
No.
No. I wouldn't know where the start button was, would you? Or a choke?
Yeah, if I wanted to feed my family and I had the choice between a fish and a boat, I'd be going for the fish.
You would? Yes, I'd take the fish.
Boat and chips isn't going to go down well.
No. No, it isn't.
No, I want to serve that up at dinner time.
No. So, Mary, wrong. Sorry. Not really even a good try. Now, Jenny Smith has emailed this. I don't understand why people, such as Mary and the woman who phoned you earlier, are criticising others, in particular yourself, for not respecting elders, not knowing what wisdom is, not listening to others, etc. By saying that, they're all doing, it seems to me, contradicting themselves. I'm 17. I'm a college student, and I respect the fact that many, many people older than myself know more and are wiser in many ways than myself. Vince Collier, give a man a fish and you have fed him for a day, teach a man to fish, and he will sit in the boat and drink beer all day. Now that's funny, Vince, I like that. And you've got the piece of wisdom that Mary couldn't get right. Right. Hey there, Tommy, Dave's emailed. Perhaps Mary should apply her wisdom and experience to her mails and show the polite emails, that is, and show the politeness she claimed to teach her children. Those who have lived longer should have better manners than she displayed. Loving the show. Thank you for that. Another email from Graham says, I would like to say I agree with everything the lady in Winchester was saying about wisdom coming from experience, and that Tommy Boyd should not be so quick to mock. I'm not mocking, I'm just saying that there's no wisdom in what the lady said was wisdom. If she told me something that was wise, then I would be delighted and I would be enthused and I would leap into the air. She says that this caller says, and this caller is anonymous, this emailer is anonymous, goes on to say, I understand what she meant with the fish and the boat thing. It's a very old and wise saying. Whoever you are, with that email, they got it wrong. Wrong in a way that showed that they didn't understand the piece of wisdom. I asked this caller who said that age necessarily brings wisdom to email me back with a piece of wisdom. The emailer then gave this as a piece of wisdom. Give a man a fish and he will feed his family for a day. Give him a boat and he could feed his family forever. And that isn't the piece of wisdom. The piece of wisdom is, and this is crucially different, give a man a fish and he'll feed his family for a day. Teach him to fish. And he'll feed his family for a lifetime. Not give him a boat. That's almost obscene, giving a man a boat. Because he won't know what to do with it. He won't know how to steer it. He still won't know how to fish. He can't eat a boat. Idiot. Anonymous, you are. I understand what was meant with the fish and the boat thing. It's a very old and wise saying. It's not. It's gibberish.
Don't sit on the fence there, Tommy. Say what you mean.
Well, it's gibberish.
Yeah, they haven't really quite got it, have they?
Well, the boat thing. We're back to the boat thing.
We're back to the boat.
I've got emailers saying that they understood the wisdom in Give a man a fish and he'll feed his family for a day. Give him a boat and he'll feed his family forever.
I just wonder what kind of boat they mean,
well,
you know? What sort of boat we're talking
A
here?
self-fishing boat. A boat that fishes for fish by itself. All you have to do is own it. And that is such a big difference between give him a boat and he'll feed his family for the rest of his life. Teach him to fish. That's the saying.
That's the saying.
Yeah.
Mm.
What have you got?
Yeah. You missed the point with the boat with the fish, didn't you?
No.
Wood wasps. The family of wood wasps.
No, I'm not with you at all here now.
Well,
it's like flicking channels.
No.
Wood wasps from a boat?
Yeah, you give a man a fish.
Yes.
And he feeds his family.
Yes.
You give him a boat.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do bugger all, does he?
He doesn't do bugger all.
No, but if they're wood wasps, they'll eat the boat, won't they?
No, I'm sorry, Alan, I'm not with you at all. Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll pass that one, right?
The nonsense about the wood wasps, I'm afraid, threatened to undermine the quality of the point you're about to make, because it was silly. Well, I don't think the wood wasps thing exactly hurried things along, did it?
Well, no, I mean, because you haven't got any logic, have you? You haven't got any common sense at all.
None whatsoever, evidently, compared to you. Anyway, let's forget the wood wasps, shall we?
Yeah,
Although
let's get back to the question.
Yes, why don't we?
Right, then I'll let you think about the wood wasps when you go home.
I may not.
You will.
I may not.
You will.
I may not.
Bye.
Kitty Shy has emailed on wisdom. She says, Tommy, just the knowledge of fishing is not enough. You need the boat to be able to catch the fish. Just for your information. Love, Kitty. No, Kitty, you don't get it either. The way Mary misrepresented this piece of Matchbox wisdom was as follows. Give a man a fish and he can feed his family. Give him a boat and he can feed his family forever. Now you're saying just the knowledge to fish is not enough. But in Mary's world, the man was never taught to fish. He knew what a fish was and he knew what a boat was, but he didn't make that any connection whatsoever. And you, if you had not seen some of those angling programs on television or those strange, odd-looking, beardy men sitting on those little canvas stools at 4 o'clock in the morning.
What channels have you been watching?
Usually listening to the radio. I bet there's people now wrestling with chub.
I bet there is, actually.
Listening to this, you see. You wouldn't know how to catch a fish. It's a learned thing. You can't just do it. In the Tom Hanks movie, Castaway, that was ridiculous.
It was Hollywood. It doesn't have to be real.
That was a movie, wasn't it? A documentary.
You missed that one.
And Brian Cames, C-A-M-M-E-S, has emailed, which came first, the fish, the ability to fish, or the fishing boat? I think you started something there, mate. Great show. Sharon in Guildford says that I'm brilliant, which I pretty much am. Teach a man to fish and he will sit by the river drinking lager all day. Yes, I think that's how it goes. The fun version of that. Give a man a fish and he will feed his family for a day. Teach a man to fish and he will sit by the river drinking lager all day. Anna has emailed, wisdom is not about how much you know, but rather knowing that there is always more to learn. Your show is fantastic, Anna. That's exactly what it is, Anna. In part, that is exactly what it is. Mr. K. Underhill has, Keith Underhill is listening in Sheffield, and he says, is it just me and several others who have emailed or phoned, or did the lady in Winchester actually get it right and you get it wrong? You can't fish without a boat. Keith, of course you can fish without a boat. We had a man on here 5 minutes ago who proved it. If he's given a fish, he can't do anything more, but with a boat, he can actually fish for himself. If that isn't wisdom, what is? Keith, you idiot. Keith, you're cleverer than that. You must be. You're listening on the internet. You must be cleverer than that. That is not the wisdom. Giving a boat to a man does not teach him how to fish. He's got a boat. The wisdom is that you teach him to fish. Give a man a fish and he'll feed his family for a day. Teach him to fish. The piece of wisdom is all about education, not about the acquisition of a material product, which won't necessarily provide you with fish. You do not need a boat to fish. You can fish in the shallows. You can fish in rivers. You don't have to have a boat to fish. It helps. But it doesn't help if you don't know how to fish, you see. Keith, I'm sorry, mate. I hope you feel foolish, but more wise. More wise. Sally in Bridlington said, Tommy, you got it wrong. It's actually teach a man how to fish, not give him a boat. Otherwise the man doesn't know how to fish. Now, that was my point, Sally. God. This is hard work, this teach a man to fish business. That's my point, Sally. My point was that the caller, the mailer, who said give him a boat and he will feed his family for a lifetime, got it wrong. But I was sort of teasing it out of people. Give a man a fish and he'll give it to
not again.
Wife.
I've had enough of this fish and the boat thing. I don't care about the fish and the boat.
Quite interesting. I now realise why I was wise not to go into politics, because people really don't pay attention.
No, but I don't care anymore. I've lost the will to live over the fish and the boat.
Yeah.
Really, what is wrong? It's obvious. Okay, and people just aren't getting it.
No.
What is the problem?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a problem with wisdom.
I can't stand it any longer.
Do you ever go to CFAX? We'll go very quickly to Vince Collier, who wants to keep on the fish thing. Give a man a fish and you feed him for today. Assuming he's on some kind of Atkins. Teach a man to fish.
I like that.
I just did that, and that's funnier, isn't it? Teach a man to fish and you have fed him for a lifetime. Teach a man to sell fish and he eats steak. Attic has emailed, Tommy, you're not getting the boat thing. If he already has the fish, he doesn't need to be taught to fish again.
Oh my God.
That's so
I'm
stupid.
going to kill somebody soon. I'm going to kill somebody soon.
So what, this fish lasts you the whole of it? That's a replenishing
Who
fish.
is he, Jesus?
You eat
He's
the
going to do
fish.
the old loaves and fishes trick, or what?
You eat the fish, you eat one side of the fish, put it back in the fridge, and the next morning it's perfect again. Ooh.
One fish will only go so far.
Yeah, it will.
Now, for the last time, you need to be taught how to fish, in order to feed your family.
Yes.
Having a boat will not do.
No.
Because just having a boat doesn't mean you're going to be able to fish.
No, it doesn't.
Can we please put this to bed for the last time tonight?
Let's do that.
The beta blockers are wearing off now.
They are, aren't they, eh? Ooh.
And I'm about to kill.
Yeah, you'd pass a drugs test now, wouldn't you, eh? Flying colours, eh? Oh, no, Adrian Mutu, you. Shoom. Get him out there on the pitch.
I'm on the edge.
Yeah.
Oh.
There.
Right. I feel a little bit better for getting that out of my system.
No.
No more fish emails, please.
I bet we get one.
Well,
I bet you. I'm a betting man. Do you bet?
No more.
Okay. There we are. Albert Cheeseman has emailed.
Albert!
Give a man a boat, and by the end of the day, he'll have sailed down the river. Send him to university to get a BA Hons in boating, and after 3 years, he'll be well at sea.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. Comment too if you wish. Even slap your legs and make a purchase from Ann Summers. But don't do nothing.